Once I got the Nova running, basically everything was new on the engine, including the power steering pump. Unfortunately, the power steering pump has developed a pretty major leak. The power steering fluid actually caught on fire because it hit the header. So we definitely want to avoid anything like that. I had no idea. That it could possibly overpressurize the gearbox or the lines and cause issues. What's going on, and welcome back. So I'm out of the shop to do a little bit of work on the Nova. Maybe not actually on the Nova, but a part for the Nova. So once I got the Nova running, basically everything was new on the engine, including the power steering pump. Unfortunately, the power steering pump has developed a pretty major leak. I don't know why. I think it's a seal on the back side or something like that. I can't really see it because of the Holley brackets that we use. So I can't really see it. I've got to get it pulled out of there and get it swapped out. It is a Cardone reman pump. So I did some searching around and actually found a pump on Amazon. I forget the manufacturer, but they're pretty much all the same. But I was able to buy it without having to return the old pump for a core, and it come out cheaper. So bought a completely new pump for the car. And I also found something on Facebook, in the LSX Nova group, that was pretty interesting and kind of concerned me. So one of the guys on there had an issue with his power steering pump, and he blew the low pressure hose off. And there were several comments about running a newer style pump with the older power steering gearbox. So got to looking around, and after a few comments from some of the people in there, I found out that Scram Speed makes a kit to help reduce the pressure of the pump so that the gearbox is happy and it's not overpressurized and things like that. So let me turn the camera around. Let me show you what we've got as far as the pump and the pressure reducing kit from Scram Speed. And we'll throw it in the pump, and maybe we'll get to something else today. Maybe we won't, I don't know. But I've got to get this done before I swap the pump, and I got to get the new pump painted because it's just aluminum type finish. So I want it black. But anyway, let me turn the camera on. Let me show you what I have. All right, so this is what I've got. This is the actual pump itself. Basically the same style as what we have on the car. It is a Corvette style pump. I forget the years that you can buy for it, but it fits with the Holley brackets. And actually requires this type of pump, I believe. But that's the new pump. It's actually the same part number as the Cardone, a 20-822, made in China, of course. But like I said, this one I don't have to return the old one for a core. So that is good news there. And this is the pressure reducing kit from Scram Speed. And of course they send you some handy dandy instructions to get everything installed. And so to give you the basics, or the basic gist of this kit and what it does, is it reduces the pressure. And as you can see with this flow control valve here, you add in some shims which reduces the pressure of the pump. And like I said, you know, that helps with the older style gearboxes, help them survive with these newer style pumps. And actually I could show you on here, it's showing the Corvette LS1, LS2, LS3, LS7, 1250 to 1350 PSI. And let's see, it says down here, most of GM muscle cars ran the Saginaw power steering pump between 800 to 1000 PSI. Now I did speak to Scram Speed and he suggested that I run all 5 shims in the kit, which should give me about 700 PSI. He said that's his best bet and that's what he always suggests in this situation, according to the pump and the gearbox that we are using. So let's get to it. Let's get this torn apart and get this pressure reducing kit installed. Alright, so what we're doing is we are removing this 7/16 bolt from the flow control valve. There were 2 shims on it. And now we're going to add all the shims from the kit. So that is the last 2 right there. So that's all 5 shims. Hopefully you can see that. Now my camera's not focusing. That's all 5 shims. The instructions say you got to be careful not to lose any of the parts that are within this little valve. There's a spring in there, some kind of like plunger, a little ball. So we're going to try to get this back on there. There we go. So we're going to tighten this a little bit. It wasn't that tight pulling it off, so I'm not going to go back too tight with it. We're going to get it nice and snug. I think that should do it. And if you can see this sleeve here, once I pull this out, I'll show you. If you can see that sleeve around there, that is included in the kit just to protect the flow control valve from getting scratched or anything like that. It does state that if it gets scratched, it can cause issues. So there we go with that. That is back off of there, and we're going to put the flow control back in the pump. Make sure there's nothing on my fingers. And we're just going to set this back in the pump. And then put the pump back in the vise. I really hope this pump doesn't leak. I mean, I don't know why the other one leaked. Not sure, but you know how it goes with reman stuff, so is what it is. Now the kit does come with an O-ring, but since this is a new pump, I don't see a problem with reusing the O-ring that's on this. I don't think that would be an issue, but it does come with an O-ring in the kit, and we're going to try to get this. There she goes. So we got the flow control drop back down in here. Now there is some spring pressure on this. So we'll have to push this down as I thread it on. And you're going to tighten this bad boy up. Not too tight with this either, but this was pretty snug when I pulled it off. So alright, I think that should do it. She is installed. I'm going to put this little cap back on there. Keep trash out of there. Make sure we keep it clean. Alright, so there you have it. The Scram Speed pressure reduction kit is installed. I'll give you a shot exactly what they call it there. So yeah, I'm glad I ran across that post on Facebook, because I would not have known And that can be a huge problem if you blow a power steering line. The guy that posted said the power steering fluid actually caught on fire because it hit the header. So we definitely want to avoid anything like that. Very dangerous. So yeah, I definitely want to get this kit installed. It's not expensive, and as you saw, it doesn't get any easier to install. I mean, super easy install. So I mean, it's a no-brainer. So that's gonna do it for this one. I'm not gonna put it on the car yet because, like I said, I do want to paint it. I gotta find some paint. I think I've got some caliper paint. I think that would probably work out well. Should hold up to high heat. So we'll probably spray that on it. I'm not sure if I'll get it sprayed on there today. I'd like to, but we'll see what happens. But I did want to make this short video here about this pressure reduction kit because I had no idea. I had no idea that it could possibly over pressurize the gearbox or the lines and cause issues. I definitely don't want any issues. The more issues I can avoid, the better off I'm gonna be. So anyway, big shout out to Scram Speed. I've bought parts from them before for the Coyote swap that I did. And Steve Moberly, he is the owner. Great guy, great to deal with, and great product. So anyway, like I said, that's gonna do it for this one. Hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And we'll see you on the next one.